Rain hammered down on the cemetery like it was trying to wash away the sins of the living. I straightened my tie beside Thomas Quinn's casket, feeling the weight of the moment. From this day forward, Titan Freight is mine, I announced, my voice cutting through the downpour. I didn't bother glancing at Evelyn or Julia. My eyes locked on Rachel instead. She needed to see it, to feel the finality. She stood there, silent, her face pale against the grey sky. I tossed her the keys to her old man's beat-up truck. All you get is your dad's old truck, I said, smirking. It felt like the perfect punctuation. A stick to your flowers, Rachel. You were never built for boardrooms. She gripped the keys, her knuckles white, and muttered something about me making the biggest mistake of my life. I let my smile falter just enough to acknowledge it, but inside I was solid. She turned and walked away before the prayers wrapped up, climbing into that relic and driving off. Good riddance. The empire was finally mine, free of Thomas's shadow. Back at the office, I wasted no time. Thomas had been slipping for years, sick, distracted, easy to maneuver around. I'd built the hidden channels, shell companies, offshore accounts, falsified invoices. It was all necessary. Businesses don't survive on sentiment, they thrive on leverage. Julia signed whatever I put in front of her, trusting me like a good wife. Evelyn was too wrapped up in grief to notice. And Rachel? She was out of her depth, playing with plants while I played the long game. But then things started glitching. The first sign was that damn GPS in the truck. I'd heard Thomas tinkering with it before he died. Some custom route he called a point Z. I dismissed it as old man's nonsense. Until Rachel vanished that night, and the next morning whispers reached me. Evelyn wasn't at home. She'd slipped away to that abandoned warehouse on the coast, the original Titan depot. What were they up to? I shook it off. Greed makes men predictable, Thomas used to say. Well, he was right. I'd predicted him perfectly. Julia confronted me a few days later, waving loan papers in my face. Why are these in my name? She demanded, her voice shaking. I brushed it off. You signed them. You begged me to handle the accounts. She denied it, of course, but what did she know about business? She was my shield, nothing more. You wouldn't understand if it hit you in the face, I snapped. She went quiet, but I saw the doubt creeping in. Fine, let her stew. Then the freezes hit. Accounts locked, payments delayed. Contractors bailing. I stormed into finance, slamming my fist on the desk. Who's sabotaging this? I roared. No one met my eyes. Paranoia set in. Who was talking? Old managers I'd fired. Minority shareholders I'd sidelined. I fired a few more just to send a message, but it only made the cracks wider. Rachel called me one night, her voice calm as ice. I'm just fixing what you broke, she said when I accused her of the freezes. I sneered back. You can't fix power. You either have it or you don't. She hung up with some quip about lies collapsing. Arrogant little, she was bluffing had to be. But the rumours swelled. Missing pension funds, offshore moves. Elena Morales, that logistics hag I'd canned, was spotted meeting someone. Arthur Ed, Thomas's old lapdog, resurfaced. It smelled like a setup. Julia cracked next. She called Rachel. I overheard the whispers. You think he'll destroy me to save himself? She asked. Damn right I would. But when she told me she wanted out, her eyes cold, I felt the ground shift. You did it for yourself, she said, handing over divorce papers later. I laughed it off, but inside, rage boiled. The board meeting was my Hail Mary. I tapped my pen, eyes bloodshot from sleepless nights. I'm moving to dissolve the current structure, I declared. If we need agility. They hesitated, but no one pushed back. Unanimous. Victory. Then the doors opened. Rachel strode in, folder in hand, laptop ready. Well, if it isn't the gardener, I mocked. We're in the middle of business. She ignored it, projecting slides. Loans in Julia's name, my gambling debts funneled through the company. A proof of theft, she said flatly. I laughed, strained but loud. You're bluffing. You don't understand the numbers. But she kept going. Metadata showing forged signatures, offshore accounts, wire transfers. The room murmured. Julia stepped in from the doorway. You used me, she accused, her voice steady. I spun. I did it for us for the family. But she shook her head. Rachel met my fury. You set yourself up the moment you chose greed over decency. I slammed the table. You think you can take my company? She clicked to more evidence. It was never yours. You were just renting it. Footsteps in the hall. Cops. Detective Miller reading charges. Embezzlement. Fraud. Cuffs clicked. You'll regret this, Rachel. I hissed as they led me out. You'll see. Her final words echoed. No, Connor. I'll remember it. In the weeks after, Titan crumbled without me. Or so I told myself from a holding cell. Julia divorced quietly. Evelyn reclaimed her spot. Rachel restructured everything. They called it a comeback. I called it theft. Thomas had planned it all, that patient bastard, leaving his shadow books like a poison pill. Greed makes men predictable. Yeah, but underestimating a family. That's what undid me. From here, watching the empire I built slip away, I finally get it. The game never ends. It just shifts players, and this time I lost. The rain